What if the world's disbelief is not a sign you are on the wrong path, but a sign that you are on a path so new and so bold that they simply cannot see it yet? The greatest transformations happen in silence, long before the applause ever begins. Reinvent yourself when no one believes. Stoicism, compiled and published by Stoic Dominion. Lesson 1. Stand firm in hidden struggles. Imagine a master architect beginning the construction of a magnificent skyscraper destined to touch the clouds. His first and most crucial act is not to build upward for all to see. Instead, he spends months in the dark, muddy earth, driving immense foundational pillars deep into the solid bedrock. This work is grueling, unseen, and completely unappreciated by the public. To the passing observer, it looks like nothing is happening at all. This is the inner conflict we face at the beginning of any great personal reinvention. We have made a decision to change, to start a business, to get sober, to transform our body, to pursue a difficult art. But the initial stages are a hidden, lonely struggle. There are no external results to show for our immense effort. This creates a profound sense of isolation. It's not just a lack of support, but a feeling of being fundamentally misunderstood, which can lead you to question your own sanity and the validity of your vision. Our friends and family may not understand, or worse, they may doubt us because they cannot see the deep, foundational work we are doing in the dark. The problem is that this lack of external validation can be profoundly discouraging. In the quiet solitude of our struggle, the temptation to give up can be immense. We begin to wonder if the doubters are right, if all this unseen effort is for nothing. We are the architect, wondering if it's worth the effort to build the foundation when no one even knows a skyscraper is planned. The transformative solution, the first iron rule of reinvention, is to learn to stand firm in your hidden struggles. This is the art of becoming your own primary supporter, your own source of encouragement, and your own silent witness to the nobility of your efforts. The core Stoic principle here is that of the inner citadel. The Stoics taught that we must build an inner fortress of resolve and peace that is completely independent of external circumstances or opinions. When you are engaged in a hidden struggle, you must learn to live within this fortress. This citadel is also your own private kingdom, where you are the sole sovereign, the only source of law and encouragement. Your validation must come not from the applause of the crowd, but from the quiet, internal knowledge that you are engaged in a worthy and difficult task. You must learn to respect your own effort, even when no one else can see it. This internal resolve is the first foundational pillar you must drive into your own bedrock. It is the commitment to your own path, made to yourself and by yourself, a silent oath that is more binding than any public declaration. To build this unshakable inner resolve, you must become your own most stalwart ally. The first actionable step is to write down your why. In a journal, clearly articulate the deep, personal reason you are undertaking this struggle. Why is it important to you? What will it mean for your character and your future to succeed? Go deeper than surface-level answers. This why is your blueprint for the entire skyscraper. The second step is to practice daily self-acknowledgement. At the end of each day of hidden struggle, take a moment to look yourself in the mirror and say, "You did the hard work today. You stayed on the path when it was easy to quit. I respect you for that." You must become the first and most important voice of encouragement in your own life, the king who praises his own loyal general. The third step is to have a mantra of resolve. This is a short, powerful phrase you can repeat to yourself when doubt creeps in. Something like, "The work is being done," "The foundation is being laid," or "I am the architect of my own life." The benefits of learning to stand firm in your hidden struggles are immense. You will develop a profound sense of self-reliance, freeing yourself from a dependency on external cheerleaders. Your resolve will deepen and harden, tempered by the solitude of your efforts. You will build a powerful foundation of character that will easily support the weight of your future success, a foundation that cannot be shaken by the trivial opinions of those who cannot see your vision. You become the master architect who works diligently in the darkness, unconcerned with the opinions of the passing crowd. because he has a perfect, unwavering vision of the magnificent tower he is building. Your practice is to identify your current hidden struggle. Take 5 minutes to write down, in detail, why this struggle is a noble and worthy pursuit. Reconnect with your purpose. Standing firm is how you protect your resolve from your own internal doubts, but you must also protect it from the harsh winds of judgment from the outside world. Next, we will learn how to grow deep roots that are nourished, not harmed, by the skepticism of others. To continue building your skyscraper, please subscribe to Stoic Dominion. Lesson 2. Grow roots beneath harsh judgment. Imagine a tiny, determined seed planted in rocky, barren soil. The stones of the earth tell the seed, "You cannot grow here. This ground is too hard." The harsh sun beats down, saying, "You will wither and die." The wind howls, "You are too weak to stand." This is the seed of your new self, planted in the rocky soil of other people's judgment. The inner conflict is that when we are trying to grow, we are often surrounded by the harsh judgment of those who are comfortable with our old selves. Your transformation can be a mirror that reflects their own stagnation, and this makes them uncomfortable, so they may doubt your new path, mock your efforts, or predict your failure. You've tried this before. That's not who you are. You're just going through a phase. The problem is that, like a seed with shallow roots, we can easily be withered by this harsh environment. If our sense of validation is dependent on the soil around us, and that soil is toxic, we will inevitably die. We begin to internalize the judgments of others, and their disbelief becomes our own self-doubt. We allow the weather to determine our growth, forgetting that the blueprint for the oak tree is contained within the acorn itself. The transformative solution is to become like a desert flower that learns to grow roots beneath harsh judgment. This is the second unbreakable habit of reinvention. It is the practice of drawing your nourishment not from the toxic surface soil of other people's opinions, but from your own deep, internal wellspring of purpose and self-belief. The core Stoic principle here is the dichotomy of control. The judgments, doubts, and criticisms of others are external to you. They are like the weather. You cannot control them. You can only control your own internal response. A Stoic warrior understands that trying to convince his doubters is a waste of precious energy. It is like the seed trying to argue with the rocks. Instead, he turns all of his focus and energy inward and downward into the silent, unseen work of growing his roots deeper. He knows that if his roots are deep enough, he can withstand any storm and blossom in any soil, no matter how harsh. He understands that their judgment is not about him. It is a reflection of their own fears and limitations. To grow these deep roots of self-belief, you must become a master of internal cultivation. The first actionable step is to go on an opinion diet. For a set period, consciously decide that you will not seek out, listen to, or engage with the opinions of your most vocal doubters. You are protecting your fragile seedling from the harshest sun. This may mean temporarily distancing yourself from certain friends or family members. The second step is to practice the Stoic art of reframing their judgment. When you hear a critical or doubtful comment, see it not as a truth about you, but as a reflection of their own fears and limitations. Their disbelief is not about your potential, it is about their own lack of imagination. Mentally wish them well, and then return your focus to your own path. The third step is to actively nourish your roots. You must replace the negative input with positive input. Every day, you must feed yourself with evidence that supports your new path. Read the stories of others who have successfully reinvented themselves. Listen to inspiring teachers. Remind yourself of your why. You must become the primary source of your own nourishment. The benefits of this practice are that you will become immune to the power of external judgment. The doubts and criticisms of others will become like the howling wind against a mighty oak, irrelevant noise that cannot touch your core. You will develop a profound and unshakable self-belief, one that is not dependent on a supportive environment. This will allow you to continue your difficult work with a serene and focused mind, free from the emotional turmoil of a war against your doubters. You become the miraculous desert flower, whose beautiful and unexpected bloom is a testament to the deep, hidden roots that allowed it to thrive against all odds. Your practice for this week is to identify the most significant harsh judgment you are facing. Then find one piece of evidence, one story, one idea that proves that judgment wrong, and focus on that instead. When your roots are deep, you can ignore the harsh weather. Now, you must focus on the silent daily work of building your new self, stone by stone. Next, we will explore the art of forging your character in the quiet hours. If you are ready to grow your roots, please like this video. Lesson 3. Forge character in quiet hours. Imagine a master blacksmith alone in his forge at midnight. The rest of the world is asleep. There is no audience to applaud his efforts, no one to praise his skill. It is just him, the fire, the hammer, and the steel. It is in these quiet, unseen, and often lonely hours that the real work is done. It is here that he sweats and struggles, patiently hammering and folding the metal, slowly transforming a raw lump of iron into a weapon of legendary strength and beauty. His masterpiece is not created in a moment of public glory. It is forged in 1,000 moments of private, disciplined effort. This is the inner conflict of all true transformation. We are often seduced by the glamour of the result, but repelled by the reality of the process. Modern culture celebrates the finish line, the successful business, the transformed physique, but it denigrates the grueling, boring, and repetitive laps it takes to get there. The problem is that this creates a dangerous fantasy. True reinvention, the forging of a new character, is almost never a public spectacle. It is a slow, methodical, and often grueling process that takes place in the quiet hours when no one is watching. If we are only willing to work when we have an audience, if we are only motivated by the promise of immediate recognition, we will never have the patience and fortitude to complete the long, solitary work required to create something truly great. The transformative solution is to become the midnight blacksmith and learn to forge your character in the quiet hours. This is the third unbreakable habit of reinvention. It is the embrace of the unglamorous, daily grind as the sacred space where your new self is born. The core Stoic principle here is that of ascesis, or disciplined training. The Stoics were not concerned with public perception. They were obsessed with private practice. They knew that a man's character is the sum of his daily habits. His courage, his discipline, his wisdom. These are not qualities he summons in a crisis. They are the muscles he has built through thousands of small, unseen repetitions in the quiet gymnasium of his own life. The man who wishes to reinvent himself must fall in love with the process, not just the outcome. He must find his satisfaction in the swing of the hammer, not just the admiration of the finished sword. This private work is the source of a deep, quiet pride that is immune to both praise and criticism, for it is based on an effort that he, and he alone, has witnessed. To become this master forger, you must make your private practice your highest priority. The first actionable step is to create a sacred hour for yourself each day. This is a non-negotiable block of time, perhaps the first hour of your morning, that is dedicated solely to the work of your reinvention. This is your time in the forge. No phone, no email, no distractions, just you and the steel. Protect this time as if it were the most important meeting of your day, because it is. The second step is to focus on process over progress. Do not get obsessed with the final outcome, which can seem impossibly far away. This obsession can lead to discouragement. Instead, pour all of your focus and passion into performing today's small task with absolute excellence. Lay today's brick perfectly. Make today's hammer blow true. The quality of your process will guarantee the quality of your product. The third step is to be your own master craftsman. Learn to take pride in the work itself. Find the quiet joy in the discipline, in the struggle, in the slow and steady progress that only you can see. Your own respect for your effort must be enough. The benefits of forging your character in the quiet hours are that you will build something real, something solid, something that has true integrity from its very core. Your new self will not be a hollow facade built for show, but a tempered steel character built through authentic effort. You will develop an immense and resilient willpower, the willpower of a man who can work without an audience and persevere without applause. This is the source of quiet, unshakable confidence. You become the master blacksmith whose work is admired by the world, but he knows that the real victory was won long ago, alone in the quiet, fiery heat of his own forge. Your practice for this week is to schedule your sacred hour. Protect it fiercely, and in that hour, do the hard, unseen work that your future self will thank you for. The work done in the quiet hours is fueled by a single, powerful force, the vision of what you're building. To endure the fire, you must have a clear picture of the sword. Next, we will explore the art of holding your vision when no one else can see it. Please like and subscribe to support our work. Lesson 4. Hold vision when none see. Imagine a great sculptor who has acquired a massive, shapeless block of marble. To the outside world, it is just a rock. They see no form, no beauty, no potential. But the sculptor sees something else entirely. Within his own mind, he holds a crystal-clear vision of the magnificent statue that is sleeping inside the stone. He can see every curve, every line, every detail of the finished masterpiece. To him, the statue is already real. The act of sculpting is merely the process of removing the excess stone to reveal what is already there. This inner vision is so powerful and so real to him that the doubts and skepticism of the crowd are like meaningless whispers. He is not discouraged by their inability to see what he sees, because he is working from a blueprint that exists only in his own mind. His vision is his reality. This is the inner conflict that tests every person on a path of reinvention. You have a vision for the person you are becoming, but because vision is internal, no one else can see it. They only see the current, shapeless block of marble. They see your past failures, your current struggles, and they cannot imagine the masterpiece you intend to create. Their skepticism can feel like a cold wave of water, threatening to extinguish the fire of your own belief. The problem is that if your vision is not strong enough, if it is not held with absolute conviction, their doubt will become your doubt. You will begin to see only the rock, and you will lay down your chisel. The transformative solution is to become the master sculptor and learn to hold your vision when none see. This is the fourth unbreakable habit. It is the discipline of making your internal vision for yourself more real and more powerful than the external world's perception of your current reality. The core Stoic idea here is that your mind is the only thing you truly command. You are the king of your inner world. While you cannot control what others see when they look at you, you have absolute control over the vision you hold for yourself. A Stoic warrior on a path of reinvention understands that his inner blueprint is the most important document in his life. He must protect it, he must study it, and he must believe in it with an unshakable faith, especially when he is surrounded by a world of non-believers. This unwavering inner vision is the fuel that allows him to keep chipping away at the stone, day after day, in the face of all doubt. It is his private, portable source of inspiration. To cultivate and protect your vision, you must make it vivid and constant. The first actionable step is to write your vision down in excruciating detail. Don't just say, "I want to be more confident." Describe the person you are becoming. How does he walk? How does he speak? How does he handle challenges? How does he treat others? What are the sights, sounds, and feelings associated with this new self? Make the vision a multi-sensory, high-definition movie in your mind. The second step is to create a daily vision ritual. Spend 5 minutes each morning closing your eyes and stepping into this future version of yourself. Feel the feelings of confidence, peace, and strength that this person embodies. This practice programs your subconscious mind and aligns your energy with your goal. The third step is to create a shield of belief. When confronted with doubt from others, do not argue or defend. Simply retreat to the certainty of your own inner vision. You can say to yourself, "They do not see the blueprint. I do. I will let the finished statue be my only argument." You can also create a physical vision board or a folder on your computer with images that represent your goal, which serves as an external anchor for your internal vision. The benefits of holding your vision are that you will develop a relentless, unstoppable sense of purpose. You will no longer be dependent on external encouragement to keep going. Your motivation will come from the powerful and inspiring picture you hold within your own mind. This will give you the strength to endure the long, difficult, and often lonely process of transformation. You will become immune to the contagious nature of other people's doubt. You become the master sculptor who works with a quiet, knowing smile, indifferent to the opinions of the crowd, because he is already in love with the masterpiece that he, and only he, can see emerging from the stone. Your practice is to take 10 minutes today to write down a detailed description of the future self you are committed to creating. Make it as real and as vivid as possible. Holding a strong vision will inevitably attract tests. The world will reject your new self before it accepts it. A true warrior must know how to use this rejection as fuel. Next, we will explore how to turn the pain of rejection into your own private power source. To continue this journey, please like this video and share it with a fellow creator. Lesson 5. Turn rejection into private fuel. Imagine a powerful steam engine, its great pistons ready to drive a ship across the ocean. For this engine to work, it requires two things: water and fire. The fire heats the water, turning it into steam, and it is the immense pressure of this contained steam that creates the power. Now imagine that rejection, doubt, and the disbelief of others are the fire. It is a source of intense, painful heat. The untrained person allows this fire to simply burn them. They feel the pain of rejection as a destructive force that weakens and diminishes them. They take the rejection as a final verdict on their vision, proof that their doubters were right all along. The wise man, the Stoic engineer, does something different. He sees the fire not as a threat, but as a necessary ingredient. He deliberately places the vessel of his own resolve over this fire. He knows that the heat of their rejection can be used to create the very steam that will power his journey forward. This is the inner conflict we face when our new self is rejected by the world. We put ourselves out there, and we are met with a no, with criticism, with laughter. The problem is that we perceive this as a signal to stop. We see the fire as a sign that we should retreat, lest we get burned. We fail to realize that this external heat is a gift of raw, powerful energy, and that it can be harnessed to fuel our reinvention, not to end it. The transformative solution is to become a master engineer of your own spirit, to learn to turn rejection into private fuel. This is the fifth unbreakable habit of reinvention. It is the alchemical art of taking the negative, painful energy of disbelief and using it as the primary fuel source for your motivation and discipline. The core Stoic principle here is that every external event can be used for a virtuous purpose. A rejection is just an opinion, an external indifferent. But the emotional charge it creates within you, the sting, the anger, the feeling of being underestimated, is a powerful source of energy. A Stoic does not suppress this energy or let it consume him in bitterness. He channels it. The fire of rejection becomes the fire of his forge. He contains it within the engine of his purpose and uses its immense pressure to drive his pistons. He says, "Thank you for the fire. I was running low on fuel. Now, watch me go." He understands that the best response to "you can't" is not an argument, but the quiet, undeniable evidence of his own success, powered by their disbelief. To become this master of energy conversion, you must build your own internal engine. The first actionable step is to reframe rejection as data and fuel. When you are rejected, your first thought should not be "I have failed." It should be, "Good, more data, more fuel." This changes your entire relationship with the experience. The rejection is no longer a verdict, but a diagnostic tool that reveals weaknesses in your approach and a power source for your next attempt. The second step is to have a channeling activity ready. This is a specific, productive task related to your goal that you will do immediately after experiencing a setback. For example, if your business idea is rejected by an investor, you immediately spend 1 hour refining your business plan or contacting 5 other potential investors. You channel the emotional energy directly into the work. The third step is to keep your process private. Do not announce your intentions. Do not complain about the rejection. Work in silence. Let your success be your only response. The engine's power is most effective when it is contained. The benefits of this practice are that you will become an unstoppable force. You will no longer fear rejection. You may even begin to welcome it as a source of power. You will find that you are most productive and most motivated precisely when the world doubts you the most. You will have an infinite source of fuel for your journey, provided free of charge by your own doubters and critics. You become the great steamship, crossing the ocean at a relentless pace, powered by the very storms that others thought would sink you. Your practice for this week is to think of a recent rejection or moment of doubt you faced. Now identify one specific, productive action you can take to channel the memory of that heat into fuel for your purpose. When you are powered by your own internal fire, you become less and less concerned with the opinions of the outside world. Your identity is no longer up for debate. Next, we will explore how to anchor your new identity beyond the reach of applause. Please subscribe to Stoic Dominion to fuel your journey. Lesson 6. Anchor identity beyond applause. Imagine a great ship has finally completed its long and arduous journey of reinvention. It has been rebuilt, its hull is strong, and it sails into a harbor full of people. As it arrives, a great cheer goes up from the crowd. They applaud its beauty, its strength, its incredible transformation. The insecure captain, the one who has endured the struggle only for this moment of validation, would be overcome with joy. He would see the applause as the final confirmation of his success. But what happens when the applause stops? What happens when the crowd turns its attention to another, newer ship? His sense of achievement would vanish, and he would feel empty again. This is the inner conflict we face when our reinvention starts to become successful. After all the hidden struggle, we finally begin to receive external validation and applause. The problem is that this applause is dangerously addictive. We can easily transfer our dependency from a fear of criticism to a need for praise. We start performing for the crowd, modifying our behavior to keep the applause coming. This becomes a new, more comfortable prison. We become afraid to take the next risk, to evolve further, for fear of losing the approval we have finally gained. Our new identity becomes just as fragile as our old one, because it is still anchored in the fickle opinions of others. The transformative solution is to anchor your identity beyond applause. This is the sixth unbreakable habit. It is the discipline of finding your ultimate satisfaction, not in the external recognition of your achievement, but in the internal knowledge of the character you have built. The core Stoic principle is that virtue is its own reward. The goal of all your hard work was not to win the applause of the crowd. It was to become the kind of man who was worthy of his own self-respect. A Stoic king does not rule for the cheers of his subjects. He rules because it is his duty to be a just and wise king. While he may appreciate their support, his sense of a job well done comes from his own clear conscience. He knows that applause is temporary, but character is eternal. The man who has truly reinvented himself is the one who would continue on his path even if no one in the world were watching. His identity is anchored in the process of his becoming, not the state of what he has become. To anchor your identity in this unshakable foundation, you must practice a higher form of detachment. The first actionable step is to receive praise with graceful indifference. When people compliment your transformation, thank them sincerely, but in your own mind, immediately attribute the success to the process, not to yourself. I am grateful that the discipline has paid off. This prevents the praise from inflating your ego and creating a new attachment. The second step is to constantly return to the beginner's mind. Remind yourself that this is a lifelong journey. The Stoic sage never arrives. There's always more to learn, always another way to improve. This humility protects you from the arrogance and complacency that success can bring. The third step is to find your joy in the work itself. You must love the process of forging your character more than you love the rewards it brings. Your reward is the act of living virtuously, day by day, the quiet satisfaction of a job well done, seen only by you. The benefits of this practice are a form of deep, abiding peace and freedom that very few people ever achieve. You will be free from the anxieties of both failure and success. Your happiness will not be a fragile thing, dependent on the ever-changing opinions of the world. You will possess a quiet, solid, and humble confidence that is profoundly powerful. You will be free to continue to evolve and take new risks, because you are not afraid of losing the applause you have gained. You become the great ship that sails calmly into the harbor. It appreciates the welcome of the crowd, but it is not defined by it. Its true value is in its own solid construction and its unwavering ability to navigate any sea. Its identity is its journey, not its reception. Your practice is to think of a recent success or compliment you received. Take a moment to feel gratitude for it, and then consciously release your attachment to it, bringing your focus back to the next piece of work that lies before you. When you have anchored your identity beyond applause, you are ready for the final stage. You are ready to emerge fully formed, a new creation rising from the ashes of your old self. In our final lesson, we will explore the power of rising renewed against all odds. Like this video if you are ready to anchor your own identity. Lesson 7. Rise renewed against all odds. Imagine a great forest that has been consumed by a wildfire. All that remains is a blackened landscape of ash and charred trunks. It is a scene of total devastation. To the observer, it looks like the end, but deep beneath the surface, the ancient root systems are still alive. And from the ash, which has ironically enriched the soil, a new and vibrant life begins to emerge. A few tiny green shoots appear, then more. Over time, a new forest rises, one that is stronger, healthier, and more resilient than the one before it. The fire was not just an ending, it was a violent, necessary cleansing that allowed for a new beginning. The new forest is not the same as the old one. It carries the wisdom of the fire in its very DNA. This is the final stage of your reinvention. You have been through the fire of your own hidden struggles. You have endured the harsh judgments of others, and you have forged your character in the quiet hours. The inner conflict is that you may still carry the memory of the fire. You may still see yourself as the charred landscape defined by the devastation of your past. The problem is that if you continue to identify with the ashes, you cannot become the new forest. You remain a survivor, a victim of the fire, rather than becoming the powerful new creation that was born from it. Your reinvention remains incomplete, a story about what you overcame rather than a testament to who you have become. The final transformative solution is to fully and completely rise renewed against all odds. This is the seventh and final unbreakable habit. It is the conscious decision to let go of your old story, to shed the skin of your former self, and to step fully into the powerful new identity you have forged in the fire. The core Stoic idea here is that of the phoenix, the mythical bird that is not defeated by the fire, but is reborn from it, more magnificent than before. A Stoic does not just endure hardship, he uses it to become a new and better version of himself. This is the culmination of all your work. It is the moment you stop becoming and you simply are. You are no longer the man who is trying to be calm and disciplined. You are a calm and disciplined man. You have so thoroughly integrated your new values and habits that they have become your very essence. Your reinvention is complete, and you now stand as a testament to the transformative power of a disciplined will. You no longer fear the fire, because you know you can be reborn from it. To embody this renewed self, you must fully release the old one. The first actionable step is a ritual of release. Write down a list of all the old labels, old stories, and old beliefs about yourself that you are now ready to let go of. I am the person who always fails at X. I am not good enough for Y. Read them one last time and then, in a safe and symbolic act, burn the paper. As you watch the smoke rise, visualize yourself releasing that old identity forever. The second step is to consciously act from your new identity. In every situation, ask yourself, what would the strongest, wisest, most renewed version of myself do right now? And then do that. Do not act like the person you were, act like the person you have become. This requires courage and a deliberate break from your old patterns. The third step is to share your strength. Having come through the fire, you now have a light that can guide others. Mentor someone. Share your story not as a tale of woe, but as a roadmap of transformation. Your journey of reinvention is not just for you. It is a gift you can now offer to the world. The benefit of this final stage is the achievement of a life of authentic power and profound purpose. You are no longer haunted by the ghosts of your past or the doubts of others. You are a living example of the human spirit's ability to transform and to create beauty from ashes. You will move through the world with a deep, quiet confidence. The confidence of a man who has faced his own fire and has emerged not just intact, but reborn. You become the new forest, whose vibrant life and immense strength are an inspiration to all. A powerful reminder that even after the most devastating fire, a new and more beautiful world can rise. Your final practice is to look in the mirror today. Do not see the man who was. See the man who is, the man you have forged through your will and your discipline. Acknowledge him, respect him, and commit to living as him from this day forward. To reinvent yourself when no one believes is the ultimate act of self-creation. It is the quiet, heroic journey of the Stoic warrior who builds his own kingdom in the dark, knowing that his character, not the world's applause, is his only true and lasting throne. Thank you for your dedication to this most profound work. The journey of self-reinvention is the noblest journey there is, and it is the source of all true strength and freedom. If this guide has provided you with value, please like the video, comment with the lesson that was most powerful for you, and subscribe to Stoic Dominion for more wisdom on the path to an unshakable life.